Hey up, Sofa Squad, and welcome back to another edition of On the Sofa. And this week, I am going to be joined by Bad Tempered Badger, but he's running a bit late, which gives me some time to plug my Patreon. So if you want to become a patron and support the channel, there's links in the description. And there's some more details scrolling along the bottom there. So do consider becoming a patron from as little as £1 a month. Many thanks to the people who already are patrons. Greg is saying 299 subscribers, need one more. Yeah, yes, I do. So yeah, that brings me up to 300 again. I did have 300 subscribers, but I lost one, but that's how things go, I guess. Anyway, that said, without further ado, we're going to start off with Tory Twats. And who's the first Tory twat this week? Let's have a look. The first Tory twat this week is Teresa Coffey. Yeah, she was accused of getting the universal credit figures wrong. Now, and she was going to be on the thumbnail, but I don't know why YouTube messed up the thumbnail. But here we are. Because what is happening is that the Tory party, what they did, if I can backtrack a bit, what they did, they gave people on universal credit benefits an extra £20 a week to help them get through the pandemic. But now, they're going to take that away again. And people are saying, this is unfair. This is going to plunge people into debt and into poverty. But she has been saying that all they need to do is just work an extra 2 hours, and they'll be fine. They'll make that extra £20. But there's a problem with those. With that, as we shall see, because Angela Rayner, the Labour's deputy leader, said this: she either knows she's lying or she shouldn't be in the job. She went on to say an additional £20 for a universal credit claimant isn't 2 hours work. That's not how the taper works. An extra £20 would require £50 plus worth of hours. That is how the UC system works. The UC taper rate, the article says, is 63%, meaning that for every pound someone is paid above a work allowance, their benefit is reduced by 63 pence. Kofi said people losing out could benefit from government investment in infrastructure projects, which she said totaled £650 billion, and would support 425,000 jobs, adding, we can want to try to help people get into those better paid jobs, often in construction, but other elements as well that go alongside these big major projects. Okay. So, Teresa Coffey or Kofi, however you pronounce her name, she's got her sums wrong. Basically, she's saying, basically, she's saying if people work just 2 extra hours a week, they can get that £20 back. That's assuming, first of all, that's assuming that people are getting £10 an hour, which many people aren't. And secondly, she's failing to take into consideration the fact that people on universal credit, when they got a job, forever, they get money taken off. So in the reality is, in order to make up that extra £20, they'd have to work. They may have to work a full day's, an extra day, an extra, 9 hours or so in order to make that, that £20. And where are people going to find the time, to do that, especially if they've got kids? So, yeah. It's going to plunge people into debt, and it's going to plunge people into poverty. And I'm one of those people. The problem I have is as well as being autistic, I also suffer quite badly from depression and anxiety, and I find it really difficult to get a job. And even when I do get a job, I struggle to hold it down. So I can't just work another 2 hours. If I haven't got a job, can I? So I'm going to lose £20 a week from my universal credit. It's going to be a struggle for me and many other people in a similar situation to me. Because not everyone on universal credit, can work for various reasons. So, yeah. The Tory party proving, once and again, once again that they are the nasty party. And here's Bad-Tempered Badger.
Hello.
Hello.
Yeah, I just about made it.
Good. How was your dinner?
Cooked, finally.
Oh, good.
Yeah, I realized that the process of cooking actually takes time. And so does the process of preparation, actually.
It does, yeah.
In fact, both of them can be quite time-consuming.
Yeah.
Okay. Let me see if I can get the stream open, because I've done everything in the wrong order. I've also broken my camera software.
Oh. Doorknobhead is asking, cooked mealworms?
Yeah, why not? Alright, let's get that thing open.
Doorknobhead is asking.
And then let's mute it so we're not hearing ourselves twice. There we go. Alright, I am actually here.
Good, excellent. I've just been talking about Teresa Coffey. Is her name pronounced Coffee or Kofi?
I was going to pronounce it Kafefi.
But she's been getting her sums wrong.
What's she done now?
Well, she you know how the Tories are going to reduce universal credit by £20 a week.
Yeah.
Well, she has been saying that, well, you just have to work more. You just have to work an extra 2 hours and you'll make that up. You'll be fine.
Okay, firstly, work at what? Because universal credit now includes job seekers allowance, as far as I'm aware.
It does. Yeah. But she's assuming that everyone on universal credit has a job in the first place. And but she's forgetting, as I've just been explaining, that if you're on universal credit, and you work to supplement that, for every pound you earn, they take a percentage off.
Yeah.
So, and not everyone gets £10 per hour.
That's also true.
In any case, most people on universal credit are on minimum wage. That's why they're on universal credit.
Well, let's give some credit here. Maybe this is a stealthy way of implementing a raise to minimum wage.
Maybe
this is just testing the waters of announcing that, and it's going to be £10 an hour minimum.
Yeah, possibly. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see what actually happens. But as I was explaining, I for people, for myself, I don't have a job at the moment. I did work in a coffee shop, as some people who follow my channel will know. But I lost that job because of because of the
event.
Yeah, the event, and because I was on furlough.
Yeah.
But then the government said, well, now employers, I think it's from June, employers would, from June last year, employers would have to pay, I think it was 20% towards the furlough. And my boss is just a sole trader. It's a small coffee shop. He can't afford, so he had to lay most of us off.
Well, you kind of can't sell coffee when everything's closed, can you?
No. And anyway, I've been struggling to find work since. In fact, I haven't been able to. And I being autistic, and suffering from depression and anxiety, I struggle to hold down a job anyway.
It all puts a bit more difficulty on it, doesn't it?
Yeah, and there are hundreds of people in a similar situation to me. They're not working, and they struggle to find work, or and so telling these people, oh, you just need to work an extra 2 hours, isn't going to help them.
Yeah, work at what?
Exactly.
This job that the job centre doesn't help you find.
Yes, exactly. Greg is saying quite correctly, I'm sure, thousands of people.
They're a bit what's the term I'm looking for? They're a bit misnamed, the staff at the old job centre, because they're called job centre advisors, as far as I'm aware. I have never been advised by one of them when I was visiting the job centre. I don't think I ever got a single piece of advice from anyone in the building.
Well, no, they're called work coaches.
Do they coach you?
Not really, no.
Do they do anything other than you look for jobs? Yes, get out.
Yeah, but yeah, so yeah, it's it's they're proving once again that they're the nasty party basically.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we knew that, but then we knew that already.
Yep.
Anywho, moving on. This is the next Tory twat.
What do we got next?
See if you, before I share this article, see if you can guess who it is.
Ooh. I'm gonna split my bet. I'm gonna put half on Boris and half on Mog.
Ah, well, it's actually Priti Patel.
Oh yeah. Yep.
There she is.
Should have bet on Patel. She's more vocal lately, isn't she?
And she's been caught lobbying again. This is an article from the Mirror. I haven't heard much about this in the mainstream media actually, but there you go.
How many supposedly career-ending scandal is she deep now?
Well, I think I've lost count, but this time, the headline reads: Priti Patel breaks rules again after secret meeting with billionaire and British Airways.
Oh, shocking.
Home Secretary Priti Patel was branded a serial offender last night over a secret lobbying meeting she brokered between a billionaire Tory donor and British Airways. And of course, the Labour Party are saying that there should be an investigation into all of this. But of course, there's not going to be one. In fact, she in the reshuffle, she's kept her job, and Boris Johnson is standing by her apparently.
Well, I for one am shooketh. I have never been so shocked in my life that Boris would keep on board someone who is a demonstrable and proven breaker of ministerial code and the law in general. It's just never happened before that Boris would keep someone like this in his parliament. I mean, what does he think he's doing? Like does he think he's running a chip shop here? Because the chip shop, if you're selling the chips to a different chip shop, they usually throw you out.
And I can't. I think. Hang on. Yes, we're gonna take a closer look at the cabinet reshuffle in a bit, but someone tweeted yesterday, "You can't shuffle shit."
Well, you can, but it's still shit.
Yeah,
it's just a shit in a very slightly different configuration now.
and Jonathan Pye News said something similar. He said, I can't get excited about this reshuffle because if you drop a deck of cards in a pile of shit and shuffle them about a bit and pick them up, your hands are still covered in shit.
This is true. Also
Oh,
smelly.
yeah. Or worse to that effect, anyway.
Well,
So, anyway, back to Priti Patel. The article says this: in an alleged breach of the ministerial code, Ms. Patel arranged high-level talks at Heathrow Airport's Hilton Garden Inn without a Home Office official present, as rules dictate.
oh dear.
And get this, the hotel is part of a chain owned by Miss Patel's friend, Surinder Arya.
Oh, it just gets better and better, doesn't it?
Yeah. So she she's corrupt. Yeah, she's so fucking corrupt. It's unbelievable. It's unbelievable.
It's I'm gonna have to do some reading, I think. I have to look into like the whole ministerial code thing, and I have to look into whether it is actually in any form legally binding. Because you would think that after being, caught at this so many times, she would not be a minister anymore, or whatever the fuck she is.
You'd think so. But she was fired from the cabinet. But I think Theresa May had to fire her because she was caught lobbying in Israel.
You'd think that would mean you can't be an MP anymore.
You'd think so, wouldn't you?
You'd think that would mean you've been fired for breaking the rules and cheating the system. You are now out of politics.
Yeah.
Do not pass go.
But because she's a staunch Brexiter, Boris Johnson said, "Welcome to the cabinet. You're in." And she's she said, do you remember those Weeble toys?
Yep.
You knock them down and they bounce right back again.
Yeah.
She reminds me of one of those.
Okay, so you've taken like a little plastic egg shape. You filled the bottom with money. You just knock it over and the money just pulls it back again.
Yeah.
Oh, and the money's covered in shit.
Yeah, pretty much. And we've got Robert X.
Oh, hello.
In the chat. BTB is great, he's saying.
Oh, I wonder who that is.
So you were saying that the next Tory twat was going to be Boris Johnson.
I did place my bet on Johnson, didn't I?
Yes. Well, here he is.
Of course he is. What's he done?
Well, do you remember back in February, I think it was, we talked about it on the show. Boris Johnson had plans to build a tunnel from Scotland to Northern Ireland.
Okay. Yeah, I do remember this.
And it was going to cost millions of pounds. And it hit a bit of a snag because, it's half. I think in the middle of the sea there were these bombs that were left there from the Second World War.
Yeah.
And would you Adam and Eve it? It's been axed.
Shocking. It's almost like the whole plan was a load of bullshit in the first place.
Yes, it was just a vanity project, basically. And the headline reads: Boris Johnson, Scotland to Northern Ireland tunnel plans axed. And the subheading is Construction of World's Most Stupid Tunnel Scrapped as Treasury Clamps Down on Spending.
Yeah. Yeah, the thing about Boris Johnson, you know those fluffy looking caterpillars,
Yes.
kind of blonde looking, they're fluffy looking caterpillars, but you don't touch them because the fluffy is actually spines that are poisonous.
Yeah.
Okay, Boris Johnson is a large ham with one of those precariously balanced on top, and a mouth in the front that just says stupid ideas that are expensive, so that it looks like he's doing something.
Yeah.
Boris Johnson, right? This is my take on modern politics. Boris Johnson, yeah. The UK is currently captained by a ham with a caterpillar on top.
Yeah.
Not even a good ham. If you were to take a slice, it would not. It wouldn't taste. We're not talking Granny's Christmas dinner here. We're talking about this ham has been so thoroughly boiled that it's just cardboard at this point.
Yeah. Or a gammon, you might say.
I wasn't going to say it. It's boiled all the goodness away and put a caterpillar on top, and that's Boris Johnson.
Yeah. And there's maggots inside.
Well, that's the cabinet, isn't it?
Well, I wasn't going to say, but yeah, it says this: the proposed link described as the world's most stupid tunnel by Boris Johnson's former chief advisor Dominic Cummings. Had a price tag of about £15 billion and the backing of the Prime Minister. But an unnamed government official with knowledge of Treasury spending negotiations has told the Financial Times the plans are dead, at least for now. So, could they resurface in the future? Do we think?
Somehow I think they'll resurface at a time when Boris wants to distract from something else.
Probably, yeah.
But I think they should be officially labelled with that title, just the world's most stupid tunnel. Just whenever that proposal comes up, that all the documents are just labelled the world's most stupid tunnel. Well, what's Boris doing today? He's proposing the world's most stupid tunnel again.
Yes. Yeah.
Where are the plans? Are they painted on the side of a bus?
I'm trying to find a map. Yes, I think I've got one. Anyway, if I stop sharing this one and I instead share. This is not very well planned. I didn't think this through.
I was still cooking me dinner when we started.
So I don't know if you can see this, but this was the proposed, one of the proposed tunnels from Heysham and wherever that is, to Northern Ireland, and using the Isle of Man as a kind of roundabout.
Okay, so we got 4 proposed tunnels
Yeah,
with a roundabout in the Isle of Man.
yeah. The problem is round about here, in the Irish Sea, there's bombs.
With bombs, yeah.
Yeah.
Does Boris know how deep the sea is?
I don't even know. I have no. I don't think he does somehow.
Is he aware that it goes down? That it, in fact, continues to go down the further out from land you go. He is aware of this, isn't he?
You'd think so, wouldn't you? But I don't. But I don't know. I don't. Who knows? Who knows what he knows?
I think what he knows. I think what he knows is just what he knows is how to say words that are not the words that are relevant to what's going on at the moment.
Yeah.
But he says them in a somewhat compelling way so that journalists go, "Oh, these are words that are being said by the Prime Minister." And then everyone goes, "Yeah, but they're not at all relevant to what he's supposed to be talking about." Yeah, but he's saying words. I think that's what Boris knows, and not much else.
Exactly. Shall we talk about the cabinet reshuffle?
I suppose we should.
Yeah.
Who's gone where?
So this is from LBC. Cabinet culled. Who wins and who loses in PM's brutal shake-up?
Do you reckon we can stop the badger cull?
Well, here's hoping, and praying to whatever gods you believing. But here are the bullet points from LBC. Former Foreign Secretary Dominic Raab demoted to Justice Secretary, but gets Lord Chancellor and Deputy Prime Minister role.
Okay, is that actually a demotion? Is he paid less?
That is a good question, because some media outlets have been saying that he's gone. He's been axed, but he hasn't been axed. If anything, he's been given a promotion. By the looks of things.
Yeah, because if you moved from if you're a secretary, if you're in the government and you are a secretary, and then the government is reshuffled and you are no longer a secretary, you're now blah secretary. Is that actually a demotion? Or is that just, you're not this thing, you're now this thing? Your pay's the same. Also, we're making you deputy whatever, so here's another 5,000 squids every month or whatever the fuck it is.
Yeah. So basically, if Boris is otherwise indisposed, he'll be acting prime minister.
If he's once again shat himself catastrophically. I was watching one of his speeches.
That's quite a frightening prospect. Gavin Williamson axed as Education Secretary, and which is a relief because he was totally incompetent. But then they're all incompetent, let's face it. He's been replaced by ex-vaccines minister Nadim Zahawi, who is also incompetent.
I was going to mention, like, you've seen the vaccine rollout.
Yeah.
COVID, haven't you? Are you sure you want the person running education?
Yes, it doesn't bode well, does it? Let's face it. Here's a good one. Liz Truss takes over Foreign Office after stint as International Trade Secretary.
Well, I suppose they're related.
Robert Jenrick and Robert Buckland booted from cabinet as Housing and Justice Secretary. So they're gone. They're gone. Michael Gove promoted to Housing Secretary after serving as Cabinet Office Minister and Chancellor of the Duchy of Lancaster. Whatever that's.
Is that a promotion?
I don't know.
How do they determine what is a demotion or a promotion in this? Is he paid more?
Probably.
Didn't he try being a comedian for a while?
Yes.
I'm sure I've seen him like doing stand-up at some point.
In the 80s, I believe. And he's in other news. He got in trouble. Well, kind of in trouble. Earlier this week because footage has resurfaced of him being racist and doing a homophobe.
Oh dear.
So that's not good. But let's face it, there won't be any repercussions. Because Boris needs him.
Well, I'm sure there'll be repercussions. I mean, look, there already have been. He's been demoted to a promotion. Well, that's as far as I can understand this article, because I don't know what means what anymore in this context.
No, well, exactly. But yeah. But I think all this talk about what he things that he said, nasty things that he said 20 years ago, is a distraction from the fact that he's been caught breaking the law.
Yeah, it is kind of just he may have said something that in hindsight was questionable 20 years ago, but he's also a twat now.
Yes, let's not forget this. He broke the law by giving contracts to his friends.
Of course.
Yeah. Which we have discussed at length on this show as well.
Was there ever any question that this was happening?
This only came to light, by the way, because the Good Law Project took him to court, and he tried to shut them up, but they appealed and won, and the high court judge ruled that he broke the law.
So why is he still in government?
Because of I've got nothing. I don't know.
He's an egg-shaped piece of plastic with money in the bottom. Knock him over and the money pulls him back upright again.
He knows where the bodies are buried. That would be my guess.
And
if I was going to be really cynical, I would, as well as some reshuffling. I think there's some there's a bit of career maneuvering kind of positioning going on as well.
Yeah, it does sound that way, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Right, here's a little thing. I've been rewatching some of the older James Bond films recently.
Yeah.
And apart from all the other stuff that's now a little bit you look at it and go, what's that film these days, are they? But apart from that, whenever like some government minister shows up, they're always treated with this sort of measure of reverence and respect. And he's kind of, hello, 007. We've got the Home Secretary here, who's here to tell you about this operation you're doing. And then you just look at it, look at who the current Home Secretary is, and you're like, what fucking twat? You wouldn't get this now. You know, hello, 007. The Home Secretary is here. Just try to smile until he fucks off.
Yeah. Exactly.
What we got next, then?
Okay. Well, next we've got, if I can, next we've got Brexit bollocks. Okay, that went on for a bit longer than I thought, but never mind. We've got Brexit bollocks. Every day there's a shit show with Brexit. Let's have a look. But let's have a look.
What do we got?
First story, we've got Marks and Spencer's blame Brexit as it closes 11 French stores. This is quite hot of the press, actually. This broke today.
Where's Marks and Spencer's based?
Well, it's based. Most of their stores are here in the UK. But apparently they had 11 stores. They've got some stores in France as well, and they've had to close. They've had to close 11 of them.
All right, now follow-up question. When you say most of their stores are here,
yes.
Are they based here or are they based in Barbados for tax purposes?
It sounds like you know more about it than I do.
No, I know absolutely nothing about it. I'm just guessing. But their headquarters is somewhere that has poor tax relations with the UK.
Possibly, allegedly. The article says this: Marks and Spencer has said it's closing 11 of its French stores because of problems supplying them with fresh and chilled foods since Brexit. The UK retail giant said all 11 franchise stores it operated with partner SFH in France would shut by the end of this year. Marks and Spencer said supply chain problems since Brexit had made it near impossible to maintain standards of food supply.
Oh dear. Isn't Marks and Spencer's the one where you go in and look at the prices of food and then go to a different shop?
Yes, exactly. Yeah.
Because I'm pretty sure I've gone into a Marks and Spencer's at least once and seen that they have a grocery section and gone into it and then gone out of it again.
Yeah. Nerdy saying no more Percy pigs for the French.
Yeah, they can make their own the Francois frogs or whatever the hell they eat over there.
Yes. What else?
I'm sure that Marks and Spencer's closing in France is a huge loss for them. I'm sure they are absolutely reeling from this shocking turn of events.
Yeah. And I'm sure. So, but here's a major company actually blaming the shortages on Brexit, which is interesting, because as you know, the Tories have been blaming the pandemic for what's going on.
Well, I'm sure the pandemic didn't help, but they did kind of decide to leave the EU without any kind of plan whatsoever.
Yeah. And that didn't help either. But soon, when this pandemic is over, but there's still shortages, they'll no longer be able to blame the pandemic.
I'm sure they'll be blaming the pandemic for years.
Probably.
Well, for start of the pandemic, I don't think there's going to be exactly a cut-off point with it. It's not going to be like, right, pandemic is now over. I think it's going to be more of a slow cool down of that. It's sort of right. Okay, we're getting it more under control now. We're calming things down. We're not having a cut-off point. We're just it's just trailing off, But I think other problems may escalate, and then they'll be there going, "Oh, well, it's the pandemic." Is it though? Or is it that you did a whole leaving the EU without a plan, and you still don't have a plan?
Here's an interesting story. Trader, this is from the London Economic. Trader blames Brexit for soaring price of fish, but BBC edits it out. Did you see this lady?
I have not seen this. No.
She's amazing. I wonder if there's a clip. Actually,
well,
this
my grandmother would be pleased about this news article. She'd be there going, "Oh, look at the state of the world and the price of fish. Oh, look, it is the price of fish."
This is the first clip.
Marianne, let me just interrupt you on your beautiful Scottish standard. When I said to you, inflation's taking a jump, what did you say to me?
I said to you, everything that we're bringing in from abroad, which is a lot of the frozen goods, a lot of we import from Greece and Turkey, the bass and the bream. The price of a container pre-Brexit, because it's nothing to do with Brexit, pre-Brexit was £3,000 just over for one container. The same container containing the same goods cost £14,000 now. Massive jump. Of course, there's inflation.
And this is what they showed on the 6 o'clock news.
Oh, yeah.
Well, it's no wonder it's a hike in inflation. The import costs and the cost of bringing containers through is massive. Petrol has jumped diesel prices, so it's costing hundreds of pounds extra a week to transport the goods, and the public are the people that will suffer.
It's the fact that food costs rise at all.
Oops. So,
They seem to have skipped a little bit there.
Yeah. Yeah, just a bit. Yeah, the BBC News is not fit for purpose, in my opinion. It hasn't been for a long time.
Yeah, it's still somehow better than all the other options.
Yeah, only just.
I'm not saying it's good. It's just better than the other ones.
Yeah,
I'm not quite going Alex Jones to find out what's happened to the fish yet. It's probably best because he just tell me they're gay now.
Yeah. But this is what happens when you descend into client journalism. And Dawn Knobhead is saying, "Not fit for purpose." That's my new favourite phrase of the day. And Nerdy is saying they're making the fish happy, which I'm guessing is a reference to what
Or it could be they're not catching as many.
yeah, they're not calculating. But what's it? Jacob Rees-Mogg saying that the fish are happy now because they're swimming in British waters. He actually said that in the House of Commons.
Swimming around with a Union flag stuck in their mouths. I'm sure Boris saw to that personally, going while he was there trying to figure out how deep the ocean is. He went and stuck little flags in them all.
And Dor Knobhead is saying, client journalism, damn, now I have to choose.
Oh, dear.
And Greg is saying, it's like the New York Times, hold your nose and read.
That's what. I just got a picture of Boris just floating along through the channel, just with a little bag full of tiny flags for all the fish, just going, it's okay, chaps, just swim along and think of England.
Yeah.
Don't worry about the sewage. We've decreased the sewage plant standards.
And okay, Dor Knobhead is off to work. So have fun.
We had to because we couldn't import any more sanitizer due to Brexit.
Okay, so have fun at work.
See you later, Dor Knobhead.
Have a good day. Okay, one last story.
What have we got?
We've got Nicki Minaj.
Oh.
Yes, Nicki Minaj tweets about COVID-19 vaccines and her cousin's friend's swollen testicles.
All right. Before you tell me any more, okay. Before you tell me the context of this, I once went paintballing for a friend of mine's stag do.
Yeah.
While I was going there, one of the people there who I knew, her brother, who I hadn't met before this incident, approached me because I seemed personable and like somebody to talk to. Apparently, I don't know how, but he approached me and proceeded to explain to me in detail an operation he'd once had on his penis.
Right.
I'm hoping that this tweet is like that. Now go on.
Yeah. Well, I mean, in 2019, would you have believed that this was going to be a headline? That this was going to be a news headline? 2 years later.
If you told me that, well, given that it's Nicki Minaj, maybe.
Yeah, well, here we are.
Because she can be called many things, but subtle is not among them.
True. This is from Sky News. Nicki Minaj tweet. Oh, well, I've just read the head. Rapper Nicki Minaj has claimed her cousin's friend became impotent after getting the COVID-19 vaccine. Impotence is not listed as a side effect of the coronavirus jab on the NHS websites.
I reckon they just did the jab in the wrong place.
There she is.
I reckon they just missed. They missed his arm, stabbed him right in the balls.
Nicki Minaj.
Nicki Minaj is a rapper?
Apparently. Nicki Minaj has got a lot of people talking following a series of tweets about the coronavirus vaccine, the Met Gala, and her cousin's friend's swollen testicles.
I thought she was a vocal percussionist.
Yes.
Where she just makes noise vaguely in time with the rhythm.
Yeah, that's a good description of her.
Yeah, vocal percussionist. Yeah, it's not where you say words. It's where the rhythms. You know that what's he called, Lil Jon.
Yeah.
You know that most of the songs he features in, he's featuring in other people's songs, and he's in the background just going, yeah. That's what I mean. It's vocal percussion. He's just there saying things vaguely in rhythm.
Yes. So in one tweet, she said this: they want you to get vaccinated for the Met, the Met Gala. If I get vaccinated, it won't be for the Met. It'll be once I feel I've done enough research. I'm working on that now. So has she got her own lab?
I don't want to disparage Nicki Minaj's medical abilities. For all I know, she might have, invented the sticky plaster. But
because that's what comes to my mind when people say they're doing their own research. I think, well, they must have their own laboratory and have samples of the COVID vaccine and doing tests, doing their own tests and getting them peer reviewed and all the rest of it. But somehow, I don't think that's what she means. Or
no, I think people confuse the term research with putting COVID vaccine bad into Google and then reading the first two results.
Yes.
Well, no. Actually, I'm giving some people too much credit here. Opening the first two results, screenshotting the title, and posting it on Twitter.
Yeah. Or watching someone's shitty video on Facebook. That's what they mean. But she goes on to say, wear the mask with two strings that grips your head and face, not that loose one. And
what's she talking about now?
but here's the offending tweet that everyone got upset about.
Yeah.
My cousin in Trinidad won't get the vaccine because his friend got it and became impotent. His testicles became swollen. His friend was weeks away from getting married. Now the girl called off the wedding. So just pray on it and make sure you're comfortable with your decision, not bullied. She's got over 2 million followers on Twitter.
I have questions regarding the veracity of this statement.
Yeah.
Furthermore, I would like to see the testicles. Because I think that would be quite impressive.
Yeah. Yes.
If they manage to get doing the vaccine so wrong that they put it in the balls.
Yeah.
or is that the meme currently? Vaccine is stored in the balls.
Yeah, apparently. But they haven't got the clip here, but she did an impression of Boris Johnson. Apparently,
I have absolutely got to see this. This is a must that I see this happen. I'm going to look for it now. Nicki Minaj, Boris Johnson. Okay, I don't know if this is at all related, but there's from The Hill. The title of this video is Boris Johnson not, in quotes, familiar with Nicki Minaj, but
That's
thinks
right,
people
yeah.
should get vaccinated.
It's become a whole thing. And let's see if I can find this.
And yeah, it is like my paintballing story. Just yes, so a friend of mine, his balls are swollen.
But isn't that how most of these dodgy stories start? A friend of my cousin.
I've got this picture of Minaj at some fancy pants rapper party or whatever the fuck they do. It's just somebody over talking. I'm not really up on who rappers are, so I'm gonna go with Snoop Dogg is talking to Lil Jon.
Mm.
And Lil Jon's just like, yeah. That's the only word I can say in his voice. So yeah, I'm thinking of I'm trying to book my COVID vaccine, and so Nicki Minaj just appears out of nowhere, puts her arm around his shoulder, and says, "Let me tell you about my cousin's friend's balls."
Are you ready to hear this?
Yeah, go on.
Yes, hello, Prime Minister Boris. It's Nicki Minaj. I was just calling to tell you that I thought you were so amazing on the news this morning, and I'm actually British. I was born there. I went to university there. I went to Oxford. I went to school with Margaret Thatcher. And she told me so many nice things about you. I'd love to send you my portfolio of my work, since you don't know much about me. I'm a big, big star in the United States.
So there you have it.
You know that kind of trend where you get a lot of British actors playing American characters, but not so many American actors playing British characters.
No.
That's why Americans can't do a fucking British accent.
And she she tweeted something else. This is a whole thing. Just see if I can find this real quick. No, it's gone. I can't find it now. But
That's the one negative thing I will say about Keanu Reeves is he couldn't fucking do a British accent that time he tried to. Other than that, I have nothing but respect for Keanu Reeves. He is the best boy that exists, but he can't do a British accent.
Nerdy's saying that's the worst impression I've ever heard. Greg is saying I can imitate a badger.
Oh yeah.
And Nerd is saying loads the Disney canon. So you can make of that what you will.
You and I both know very fucking well that Disney is non-canon.
So there you go. There you have it. There's this week's new major news stories, and
it's
been 1 hour.
Worse, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. Yeah, and
this is why I don't watch the news.
You don't need to watch the news. Just tune in every Thursday night for On the Sofa.
It's the most news I can manage. The first couple of times I did this, I carefully went through the document beforehand and read all the news stories in it.
Hmm.
And then I realized that it was much more funny to react without knowing what was coming.
Yeah, isn't it? Yeah. And on that bombshell, I'll say,
Don't mention bombshells, or Boris will be upset about his tunnel.
I'll say, yeah. Thank you for joining me, bad-tempered badger,
Oh, you're
and
welcome.
and thank you to everyone in the chat, and for your contributions as well, and do tune in for another On the Sofa next week. Until then, bye for now.
Thank you very much for having me, Disney's non-canon.